what's up? I'm Mike Levitsky, and I got another drum lesson for you. Today we're going to be talking about basic jazz soloing. And this is going to be talking about time soloing and kind of what to do there. And maybe over the next few weeks or months we'll build up a vocabulary of things that you can do in order to play. I have a jazz band at the school that I teach at, and our drummer, Josh, he asked me to put some stuff up for him to do on the drum set when he's soloing. A lot of times, you know, as the drummer in the jazz band, you know, maybe at your junior high or your high school or your college, or maybe with some of your friends, you know, you have time down pretty well. The band's playing, and you know, and you have some hits or kicks that you're playing, but then the solo comes and you don't know what to play. And so one option I'm going to give you is the time solo. Now, a time solo, and that's kind of what I'm calling it, others may refer to that, it's a solo in which you keep the time going, you keep the ride cymbal going, and then you add stuff around that, just using very basic, simple rhythms, but we orchestrate it around the drum set. It's really going to help you to sound like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. And then as you develop more vocabulary, you'll be able to say more and more complex things. And so today, we're just going to take the of one, or the and of one, depending on how you're phrasing it. And we're just going to work on adding that and a quarter note. So we're going to learn two kind of orchestrations, and I'll give you two different ways to do it. So the first thing you need to have down is your basic jazz time pattern. And if you've never played jazz before, everything's swung. It's based on triplets. So rock music's all based on eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very straight up and down. Jazz, or swing, it swings. It's lopsided. So instead of being 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and if we draw that eighth note farther and farther away from the first beat and closer to the second beat, it ends up doing something like this. Okay, and we get it too close. Now, swing is right about here. If we think of triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's about the feel that you want to have. We'll accent that quarter note so that we have a strong drive, and then we just play every other one. So the jazz ride cymbal pattern ends up being 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, if you don't already know that, you're probably going to be lost on this next section. So stop the video now and go in your practice room and work on that. But what we need to have a strong sense of time going. So the hi-hat's going to be on 2 and 4, and we're going to play the ride cymbal pattern like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay? So normally a lot of you guys will play the snare drum on 2 and 4. Or you might put the bass drum on the quarter notes too. Or you put the rim click on 4. And if you're really, kind of an advanced beginner, you can do the tom on, every other one, like. Something like that. Okay? Those are all basic time things when the band's playing. So what do we do when the band stops and it's time for us to play? Well, I'm going to show you two exercises that we can combine to create ideas. Okay? So the first one is just quarter notes. So we're going to play our jazz ride cymbal pattern. 2, 3. We're going to put quarter notes on the snare drum like this. Now I'm varying the dynamics. Now dynamic changes are very difficult when you're first starting out. So if you can't do that, don't worry about it. But you want to keep quarter notes on the snare and ride cymbal pattern and hi-hat. Then we're going to move it to the bass drum. Play that for a while. Then we're going to move it to the hi-hat. And then something that I didn't practice a lot, doing drum lessons, but I think is important. Practice the bass drum and the snare drum together. Okay? So that's exercise 1. Get all your limbs to be able to do that. Then we're going to do exercise number 2. We're going to put the beat onto the and of 1, 2, 3, and 4, or to the or to the like however you want to count it. It's going to end up going 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you're comfortable with that, put it on the bass drum. Then put it on the hi-hat. Now if you can't do the hi-hat or the bass drum, that's okay. Work on it, and then I'm going to show you some things that you can do with that. Lastly, we'll do it with the bass drum and the snare drum together. Can't even play my own lesson. Alright, there we go. So, obviously I don't play that one very often. Now, let's take these exercises and orchestrate them. So let's go back to the quarter note. And the first thing we're going to do is just play quarter notes. And I want you to get used to moving that left hand all over the drum set. So we're going to play time, and we're just going to play it. The idea is to get your ear used to hearing different sounds while keeping that ride cymbal pattern going. Okay? Then you're going to take the other exercise and move that one around. You get that for free. If your hi-hat's doing 2 and 4 and you just hit the hi-hat, that'll happen for you already. Alright, now, here's kind of the where everything comes together. We're going to take all these, the quarter note and the and we're going to combine them. And we're going to do phrases. We'll do 2-measure phrases. So say you have a 2-measure solo. And you want to set up a little melodic idea and then kind of repeat that idea. And it'll give the listener the idea that you're putting something together musical. You don't just want to randomly hit all your drums. You want to put something together musical, a pattern, if you will. And if you just want to think mechanically in a pattern, that's okay for now, until you can learn to kind of freely express yourself. But for now, we'll create a pattern. So maybe you go snare, tom, tom, snare. Okay, let's put that pattern together. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then you rest. Then you play it again. Okay, and that's the basics of it. Now, I'm going to put some different patterns together using the and the quarter note and kind of combining the two and show you some things that you can do with this. But this is basic time jazz soloing, and we'll build up more vocabulary so you can do more things with it. But I'm going to add in the bass drum a little bit and the toms, and I'll show you some things that you can do. So here we go. I'll do 2-measure phrases. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2. Alright guys, I hope that helps you out. I hope you have an idea of kind of how to do some simple things when your solo comes. And I realize that sounds really simple, but sometimes simple is nice. Sometimes playing all the notes and doing all this crazy stuff, it's not the best thing for the music. So we're going to start here, and if you guys like this and you can work on this and we can build up our vocabulary, then I will continue to build vocabulary and time soloing ideas. If you'd like to see some other jazz stuff, be sure to rate and subscribe and check out my channel and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.